In this video, I am going to give you my thoughts and I guess struggles from moving over from Windows to Linux as a person that is not a computer expert. So first up, if you're thinking this is a video on how to migrate from Windows to Linux, this is not. So this is not the video for you if that's what you're looking for. You might have to have a look around and see what other videos are out there that are going to accommodate your needs. Excuse me, but for those other people that are watching the channel, I'm going to go through just some of the challenges that I'm finding as not a computer expert moving from Windows over to Linux. So let's have a look at what the computers are first. So coming over to the electronics corner, I guess for in other words, we've got a heap of computers here. So we're going from the old to the new. I've done some videos on the main edit computer, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I'm going to explain why I've done the upgrade. So we've got the old system and we've got the new system. So the old computer, which I did cover in the last video, is an old Windows 10-year-old computer, and I can't upgrade to Windows 11 anymore. It's 10 years old. It's time for that computer to upgrade. So what I've done is I have loaded Linux onto that, and we've introduced a new edit computer. Now my laptop, this definitely needs changing or needs updating. It's been a clunky old pain in the butt. Great for surfing the web, look at some YouTube videos, but if I want to do any video editing for my channel while I'm away in the caravan, this totally sucked. It just couldn't run an editing software. And I guess that's because it's an old Pentium, I think 1.3 gigahertz or something like that with 8 gig of RAM. And yeah, it just didn't do the job. And yeah, look at that. The hinges are all broken on it, the crack in the screen down there. So yeah, it definitely needs to be upgraded. So what I've upgraded it to just recently is this here. Now I'm not going to go too much into maybe I'll bring the specs up. You can have a look at that in a minute. So i5 graphics card on it. I think it's a 4050 graphics card, 16 gig of RAM, a lot more balls to be able to do some editing while I'm traveling and keep this channel going while I'm traveling. So this is also got Linux on it. I've put Linux on that, but I am having some problems. This is the editing software that I use. It is DaVinci Resolve. It is an editing software I've been using for a long time. That is what I want to put on this computer here so I can do some editing while on the road. So let us have a look at one of the big problems I'm finding with Linux, and that's in relating to installing programs. So I've gone to install DaVinci Resolve onto my Linux laptop here, and then I'm running into this issue here, and I haven't a clue what to do. I don't know where to go from this stage. We've got this command prompt, I think they call it. So I'm finding with a lot of Linux, we're having to go into this screen here and start writing these codes and that. And this is where I'm struggling as a person that has gone from Windows over to Linux and is not a computer expert. So I go on to tutorials on YouTube on how to use Linux, and what I'm finding, and this is for you Linux people out there that do tutorials, I find half of the tutorials are, it kind of feels like there's some computer geeks that want to feed their ego, showing how quickly they can write code and make things jump across on all the code area, which is absolute no help for a beginner like me. Now, if you're someone who is an expert at Linux, they're going to understand what that person's doing, but then it defeats the purpose of making a basics how to do things on Linux video if you can understand what they're doing. It's kind of the way I feel as a Windows person coming over to Linux. So if you're out there that writes doing Linux instructions, when you're writing sudo whatever in there, can you explain step by step what to put in there and why you're putting it in there versus just putting it in and running it and not explaining it? That's the biggest thing I find doing the online tutorials. I'm not having to go on any Linux, people, don't get me wrong, because I'm a raw beginner, and you can obviously tell by now I don't know what I'm talking about with Linux. So that's one challenge, big challenge that I'm finding with it. So there's one thing I do understand, that when we're wanting to download different programs and applications, we've got this software manager here, and I love this. I really like this, having access to the programs and just clicking on it and it downloads it, versus with Windows where we've got to actually find the website and then download it from the website and install it. So I love this idea. So I'm really liking this idea. So why am I going over to Windows? Why am I ditching Windows and going to Linux? Why, if I'm struggling with some of the aspects of Linux for now, why don't I just stay to Windows? Well, it's because it's Windows. Windows is just so full of bloatware and so full of programs that I don't want, that I can't get rid of, where Linux, I put in what I want to do. There's no tracking and spying and things like that happening on Linux. That what you get now, and it's getting worse with the Windows, with the spying and the tracking of everything that, fall over on my chair here, everything that you do on Windows. My favorite Windows program was XP, but this Windows 11 now, there's just no choice. We are getting dictated by big business on how we do things, and we don't have a choice in that, and I'm not playing that game. I did say I was going to show the specs on this laptop here. There you go, that is the specs on the laptop here of what is installed, and the graphics card, yeah, that's showing graphics and RAM and that. So for all you computer experts out there, I've updated from that. And this one, yeah, I know you want to know what the specs are on this one, so let me bring it up for you. All right, so here we go. That is what I've come from. See, it's 1.1 gigahertz Pentium, 8 gig of RAM. Yeah, that. This sucks for editing. It really sucked for editing. And of course, we're moving over to this spec. So I think I should have trouble-free editing with, come on, focus phone, with these two computers here. Oh, by the way, when I shut down the computer, I have these error messages come up. Anyone know what that means? Is there a problem with the program I've got now? Do I need to do anything? Because this error comes up when I shut it down. So yeah, another thing I'm not sure about either. If you could help me out with the comments below. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment below, helping me out doing that transition to Linux, and wait for the next awesome video to be coming out on the Off Grid channel. Oh, if you're wondering what I'm doing with this old edit computer here, that is now going to be made into my media computer, where I put all my videos and I stream internet through HDMI to my television over there. So that is what this computer is going to be made into. I would like to make a server out of it eventually, but it's a bit technical for me for the moment.